name's Jade Federico, also known as color.jade on Instagram, and today I'm going to be showing you my technique of creating a brunette off of previously highlighted hair. It's been about since June, I believe, when we highlighted last, and she wants to overall be darker. She wants to feel like a brunette with brunette dimension. So I'm going to show you how I do that on her using all of my favorite Product Club tools. So first, we're starting off by sectioning her hair out. I'm sectioning the front quadrants out and then working with the back of her head as a whole. You'll notice that I'm using my sectioning clips to section my pieces out and get the hair out of the way. I'm also using the pintail comb to section in the back and just clip that hair out of the way. Now my first section's in the back, I'm doing diagonal back, and then before I get started, I'm going to put on my extended cuff black vinyl gloves. These are my favorite, especially with long nails. My nails don't break through, they don't poke through, they're pretty thick, which is really nice. All right, now here we are getting started. I am taking my first section. You'll notice that I kind of weaved the thicker chunk out and then left underneath of that section out as well. So this top one that I'm doing is going to be my darkest color. I like to weave that because I want there to be a little softness underneath her hair if she wears it up. That way it's just not solid, super dark. So the hair that I left out, you'll notice I'm gonna take that and clip it out of my way. Here I'm weaving it out again. And then above that, I'm going to make dark just like I did on the other side. So this is, like I said, right now the darkest color that's gonna be in her hair is what I'm applying in this moment using the feather bristle brush. Then you'll see the hair underneath that I left out. Now that's what I was talking about for the softness I want when she wears, like pulls her hair up and just up in a bun, that way it's not super dark. So the color on the side here, that is a lighter color that I put on. I believe it was around level 7, and then the darkest color is level 4. Now I'm just working my way up the head, kind of using the diagonal back sections, and I like doing that when going dark because if she pulls her hair forward, what we darkened is going to fall really nicely, and then the highlight that I leave in there as well will fall over top of that really nicely. Now you'll see as I go through the head, I'm weaving just to ensure that I have a lot of blended color, a lot of blended highlight, low light next to each other. And you'll see I'm using my silicone clip there to get that out of the way. And this section here, I'm going to make all dark. So mostly we want her to feel dark. So this is my level 4 I'm putting all over. And the sections that I just sectioned out and clipped up out of the way using my sectioning clip, those are going to be my lighter sections. And I just like to use a wider tooth comb to comb through the color I just applied just to make sure we have even saturation. You'll notice I'll apply my color, I'll use a wider tooth comb through there just to blend that color down, melt it down, ensure there's full saturation throughout. And then I'll apply more product. Here I am again combing that product through, making sure that we are going to have even full saturation. Now I'm pulling down the hair I just clipped out of the way with the silicone clip, and I'm going to now clip those off to the side because I want to leave them. I changed my mind. My first section with my level 7 low light, I did that when I did my dark. I decided that I want to hit my lighter pieces last. So now I'm using my silicone clip just to clip what I weave out that I'm gonna put my level 7 on, and just use the silicone clip to clip it out of the way until the very end, and then we'll apply all level 7. So throughout the rest of the head, the only color that I am applying is gonna be my darkest color, and that's the level 4. Now this is one of my favorite blendy kind of techniques that I like to use while still maintaining boldness. I'm taking kind of more of a chunky weave to weave out those lighter pieces, Now I'm clipping these out of the way again using the silicone clip. Those I'm going to make level 7, you'll see later, but I'll clip them out of the way after I take this whole section out, and this is going to be the level 4. Darken that, as well as on the other side of it, I will do the same. I'm sure you've begun to notice that all of my dark pieces are just hanging out right in the center of her head. All my level 4, all my dark, I'm leaving right in the middle of the head. Everything I'm separating to the side is going to be the lighter pieces. It's my way of trying to stay organized without kind of confusing what I've made dark, what I've made light. Yeah, it just helps me stay organized, and visually it helps me kind of see how much hair I'm making dark and how much hair I'm leaving out that will be lighter. So I pulled my section down that I had weaved out already that you previously saw. Now I'm just clipping it to the side with the rest of the hair that will be the lighter shade later. So I'm taking pretty large sections throughout the entire head. I like to work in bigger sections when I'm making somebody mostly like a brunette color, because it just helps me know when I'm taking the bigger sections and weaving out those smaller ones. It helps me know, and then by just feeling as well, that most of her hair will be brunette because I'm working in larger sections. For me, trying to do foils and low lighting with foils, I don't visually see it as I'm going, and then I get in my head because I'm like, well, what if it's not enough dark? What if it's not enough light? And all I see is foils. So here, it's more of a visual thing for me where I physically can see how much and feel how much of the hair is going to be dark and how much is going to be the lighter color. Working with my last big section on the back of the head. So you maybe noticed with this section, you'll definitely notice with the next one because it's a bit larger, my weave and how I'm weaving out and what I'm weaving out to make the level 4 and what I'm weaving out to make the level 7. So when I'm weaving it, I'm weaving a thicker, heavier weave. You're gonna notice right here. And what's on top of that heavy, thick weave, that is what I'm making dark. And underneath it is what I'm going to have be the level 7. And I wanted the over veil color to be the darkest color and have that highlight pop and shine through kind of underneath that top section. My reasoning for that is I want the top layer of her hair to be dark because I would fear with her that if we kept the top section with a highlight in it, that she wouldn't feel dark enough. So I wanted to really make sure that she felt like a brunette, but had that softness. So I felt this was really gonna give us that feel. Here I go again, keeping everything as organized as I can. I'm laying all of my level 4, the darkest part of the hair, straight to the middle of the head, using my silicone clip to clip the lighter stuff to the side, and I will tackle the lighter pieces at the end. Now we're moving on to the front of her hair. I'm using the sectioning clips here, clipping that hair out of the way. I'm using the same technique that I did in the back. I'm weaving out kind of the thicker top weave, little less hair in the bottom of that. So this one that I'm painting now is going to be the level 4 dark, and I will be leaving the hair underneath out until the very end to put my level 7 on it. Now I'll be doing the same concept that I did in the back. So if you ever get confused at, oh, what does she paint? Is that going to be the dark? Is that going to be the light? So what you're seeing now, everything that I will be painting is going to be the dark level 4. And before I've said it, everything else that's left out, I'm saving to the very end to apply the lighter color. So yeah, you'll just see me kind of smush those sections together to keep myself organized and keep that other hair out of the way. And with my front sectioning here, I'm doing the same thing I did in the back, do that heavy, thick weave right on top of the head. That's all gonna be dark. Right underneath it will be the lighter shade. So it'll give a really soft, blendy flow, and it won't feel super dark all over, but it'll have that really beautiful soft dimension. Quickly following my last section here, I kind of noticed that I didn't like how much of that hair was left out and not made dark. So I just weaved on top of that to bring my level 4 down about halfway into that section. That's going to really soften that up as well. And then through those ends I left out, then I'll make those the level 7. Now we're moving on to the other side of the head. She has a middle part, so it's pretty even as far as how much hair she has on each side of her head. So I'm going to do the exact same placement that I did on the other side. Since this was the exact same placement of the other side, I'm doing the same little weave out that I did at the very end and bringing my level 4, the dark color, halfway down in this front section. After I'm done applying this color, I will then put my level 7 over the rest of it. So I'll speed that up. Just splitting my section up just to ensure I have saturation, full saturation through all of what's left out. still trying to stay organized so I know what's what, I will keep my level 7 off to the side on the left and on the right, and keep the level 4 dark color just directly in the middle between the two. I really wanted to save my level 7 color that I'm applying over what I left out until last, because I like to watch it, because sometimes when I'm weaving out what I'm weaving out, it's a little more porous because I am trying to weave out those lighter pieces, and sometimes they can go a little darker than what I'm anticipating because they're just, like I said, super porous. So I like to save my lighter spots until the end, so that's why I'm doing it this way. And I want my level 4 to sit on the longest because I want it to be that really dark, rich color. The color line that I used to create this look was Oligo Professional. I used the Colora glosses. I like them, they're super shiny, they've got longevity, but they're a demi, which I also love because I know that my guest here, she's gonna wanna go blonde again in the summer. So I don't want anything super permanent, but I do want the longevity, which the Colora glosses have, which I love. The level 4 that I used, it was a level 4 NB, which is super rich. And then the lighter of the lowlights was 7GV, which is a gold violet. It's really beautiful, super rich, just love it. Now I'm going to let her process for about 20 minutes, but keeping an eye on my lightest lowlight. And here's our final look after she's processed and styled.